guys and gals, welcome to the Oxford Holy Club, a place where we ready ourselves to give an answer for the hope that's in us. We will also try to answer your questions, random questions from the interwebs, and have some fun too. So put some seatbelts on your ears because we're in for a wild ride. Well, hello, Oxford Holy Club. Welcome to episode 140 entitled Dogs, Moosen, and Advice. If you're wondering about that Moosen thing, just hang tight. We're going to address it in just a minute.
Or we're not.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you? Let's start with Lucas. Lucas, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Oh, fantastic. Joined, obviously, by Lucas, our other host, and the third hostess with the mostest. We got Andrew Beckwith. Hey, Andrew, how are you tonight, my man?
Good.
I prepped people when I shared this on Facebook. I prepped them for the energy that you were bringing. So you better bring it tonight, my man. All eyes.
I'm going to shut down. Too much pressure.
All eyes are on you. Oh no. Well, welcome to the Oxford Holy Club podcast, and I'm not going to belabor the points here. However, I do want to ask you if you could click, the like and share, the subscribe, all those things so that you get notified when we go live. If you've been enjoying and watching or listening with us for the last 140 episodes but haven't done those things, now is the time. Surely to goodness, if you've been with us that long, we've proven that we're trustworthy, and you can click that. You can click those buttons as well, and we'd really appreciate that. If you want to find out more about us, there's a website, oxfordholyclub.com. You can go there, check things out. There's some merchandise and different things, but that's there for you whenever you'd like to check it out. All right, gentlemen, I have one thing I want to try quickly before we get really into the episode. I've heard from different people wondering, what does the setup for the podcast look like? Different things like that. How do you do it? And blah, 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 whatever. And when two things align, you just got to go with it. The other thing that for our church that we're trying is we're about to use iPhones as multiple cameras through something called NDI. So like you send your video signal through your network to the computer, blah, blah, blah. You can look on your screens on Facebook. You guys are watching in a second. I have a camera set up behind me that is just through the network so that you can look to me. And this is it. Not really. Anyway, it's funny. Someone was just in my office and they've watched the podcast before and they'd never been in the office and they go, looks bigger online. I'm not really sure what to do with that information.
Thanks for that.
But if you're watching it, you're right. It does. Anywho, all right. Well, we are going to...
Can I play just a quick 10-second game? I believe that your office is quite on point and looks pretty snappy, except for one thing. Andrew, one thing to change in the office.
I'm bringing the graphic back to the graphic. It's live. It's delayed. I have to get the phone's hardwired to the internet. We have a 5G network, 2.4 here. The graphics are okay. Let's see.
It was actually the original, the other one. This is what we look at every week.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You look at it. It's the one thing you really need to upgrade.
Man,
It's from the 80s.
Is it the couch?
It's the couch. Yeah, you gotta do something about that couch, man. Like you gotta. And listen, I'm sure it's a fine couch, but everything else is like mwah, like top notch.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta upgrade the couch somehow. I don't know how you do it. Maybe do a fundraiser. We'll figure it out.
Okay, thank you for committing to helping. You all heard it here tonight. Lucas is on the couch committee.
I'll be the change I want to see in the world.
That's right. If you don't complain, if you don't have a plan.
That's right.
So why don't we, speaking of changes and plans and all that kind of stuff, why don't we toss to Andrew and the tiebreaker?
Tiebreaker. All right. We're going to read you a problem, issue, disagreement, quandary. And we're going to basically be judges, super qualified judges. And we're going to talk this out. We're going to wrap through this, and we're going to come to a final decision on this issue and side with one of the individuals. We welcome tiebreakers too. If you want to send in a tiebreaker of your own, you can visit the website oxfordholyclub.com, and there's an option there for you to send it in, and it can be anonymous if you want it to be, and or you can put yourself
Or
right out
anonymous.
there. What?
Sorry, I was getting a message saying that there was an issue, but I don't think there was, and I think we're fine.
I got a message from Tiffany that there was an issue.
Did you? Well, what was our issue, fellas?
Whenever you're switching cameras, I guess it got really choppy.
Okay, you know what? I bet because it's that whole NDI thing. Oh, sorry, sorry, folks. Good grief. Well, hey, listen, live and learn. That's weird. Shouldn't have been. All right, so we got a tiebreaker. Go ahead, Andrew. Take us through. Is it over?
This is from Jean. This is Jean, and she says, "My son Jude and I adopted a wonderful Shiba Inu, which is obviously an animal that I know about, named Sky 10 years ago. Sky is wonderful and sassy, with eyes that always make it clear that she's mildly disappointed in you. Although I think it's weird, I refer to myself as Sky's mom when scheduling visits to the vet, grooming, and so forth. It's convenient, and I like it better than saying I'm Sky's owner. However, I recently learned that Jude calls himself Sky's dad. First, that family tree makes no sense. Second, as Jude provides lots of fun playtime for Sky but zero financial support, Jude seems more like a brother than a dad. Please order Jude to stop referring to himself as Sky's dad."
Oh, brother. Okay, this one hits home for me because I'm pretty sure, and I can see what Lucas is going to say because he wrote it down to make sure that he hit it. But so I say this knowing that I'm about to receive full judgment from Lucas. I was never into the whole like my dogs growing up are like my brothers or sisters. I don't give them last names. You know, like we have a cat right now whose
It's
name
your
is,
last name. His last name is Siliker.
no, well, no. I know my last name. But my mom, I'm pretty sure my mom does this. And mom, if you're on, you can confirm. I'm not going to throw you under the bus any more than that. Other than to say, well, that I'm pretty sure mom does this. Kind of personifies the animal and brings it under the family name, and you know, the dog has the covering now of the Siliker name and the benefits
Your
therein.
kin.
Yeah, we're kin. Now I don't know how far that goes. Like I don't know if the dog is willed into anything or like stuff like that. But this is something that I've heard growing up. You know, I've been referred to as like the brother or whatever. But okay. But listen. Okay, listen. Just stop talking. Hold on. Shush. I don't know what I was gonna say. It's back to this person's problem. The first thing is there's just a misunderstanding here of the lineage, right? Because if the son is saying it's the dad, but the mom is saying she's the mom of the dog, there's clearly a communication problem here, and someone has some entitlement issues. I suggest it's the son. Gentlemen, please, someone say something else.
I'm gonna go first because Lucas is just dying to unleash, so we're gonna leave him to last.
Good idea. I get soothe.
I don't have strong opinions about whether someone calls their dog their child or
Me neither.
whatever. It doesn't really matter to me a whole lot. But I do think that the mom calling the dog their child and the son calling it their child, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's neither of their child. So who cares if they're both its parent? Like it ultimately doesn't really matter to me.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Lucas.
All right, Lucas.
All right. So I have some thoughts.
Put the hammer down.
Well, except you kind of ruined it because you're like, my mom does this. Tread carefully. I struggle with people who are too into their pets, and I mean not too into their pets as in like they take them on walks every day or whatever. I mean that's kind of par for the course. But when you're blurring that line, like, so here's the thing. When somebody doesn't have children and calls their dog like their son or daughter, that bothers me deep down. And
Well, let's get to the
like,
heart of that. Let's get
the term fur baby, for example.
Oh no!
Does your mom call her dog that, and you're the skin baby? Like, how does that work? So your mom doesn't call them as fur baby.
Are these Lucas? This is not a goof.
Have you never heard fur baby before?
This is not a goof, right? Like these are legitimate terms you have heard people refer to their children and or animals
I've heard
to.
multiple people like, "Oh, my little fur baby."
I've heard fur baby.
Oh,
I talk about
word.
a food baby, but that's something totally different.
You've never heard of fur baby. Anyway, yeah, it's out there. It's not great. But here's the problem. So if it's one thing, it bothers me. But if they don't have kids, I'm like, well, they don't really know what they're referring to. Like, they don't get it. So it's the closest relationship they can think of, but they've never experienced like actual parenthood. It kind of cheapens the whole having your own kid. If people are like, well, my baby's a fur baby, it's basically the same. That whole thing. But she has a child. She has a kid. So she's like, it's my fur baby, and then here's my human baby. Like, you guys are basically the same. And she's like, I don't like that he's more of the brother than the dad. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. Like, it's an animal. And I know you don't like to say that you own it, but you do. And it's not your child. Okay. So just like, anyway, I gotta slow it down for it.
No, go.
We just lost half of our viewers.
It's a safe space. Listen,
they
safe
went to go
space.
spend time with their fur baby.
Yeah, seriously.
Fur baby.
Everyone's like, turn the speakers down. The dogs can hear.
We're gonna get some kind of a hate speech flag.
Oh,
yeah. So anyway, I think pets are great. I grew up with dogs like my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're great companions. They're smart. Remember, I would sacrifice a human life to save all dogs. That was from a couple weeks ago, right?
I know you didn't. Oh yeah,
I did.
Right. Yeah.
Originally I didn't, but then I decided to.
There's some inconsistencies.
So
here.
I see the value of dogs. It just when people are putting, it's the opposite of putting first things first. So I try not to come down too hard. Like, if someone does it to me in person, I'm not like rolling my eyes or scoffing at them because I don't know what their life is like. Maybe this is like the best thing happening in their life. So I don't want to like be mean to them about it. Like, I don't know. Now, if one of you guys did that, I would scoff at it. And, because I know you have like full rich lives and your dogs are not your whole life or your cats or whatever. So I feel like I can back it up a little bit there.
Oh, the cat!
Yeah,
my cat is barely involved in my life. It's very much on the periphery, and
that's a cat,
and that's perfect. That fits.
You're happy with the nature of the relationship.
Very much so. In fact, yes, I'm quite happy. It's amicable. We can continue.
it's amicable.
All right.
See,
so
I think a cat would be more my speed. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you're definitely an indoor cat. I mean, if there was a personality type, you sir are the indoor cat. So mixing my metaphors, but birds of a feather, and all that.
Cats of a claw.
All right.
Cats of a claw.
You need to choose a side. I'm choosing to go with Jude, purely because I just think it doesn't matter.
Yeah, she seems pretty self-righteous about it. Jude just seems to be doing what a kid does, so I'm going with Jude.
Yeah,
just to make what's-her-face mad.
I have to agree.
Her name's Jean.
I have to agree that we've got to go with Jude on this because he's a kid.
Yeah.
And she's the parent who is making something out of nothing. Mm-hmm. Like, she's feeling threatened by her son's relationship with the dog. And listen, hold on. What our children, gentlemen, will remember is not the money we spent, but the time we spent with them. and this dog, Skippy, is not going to remember the vet bills that got paid by Jean. It's going to remember the time spent with Jude.
Mm.
And a good dad spends the time.
I think that this woman is like, he says he's the dad. That's stupid. It's stupid for that because it's shining a light on the stupid thing that she's doing. And she's like, no, it's dumb when you do it, but when I do it, it makes total sense. That's my thoughts.
All right.
So have we finally like solved something? So
Yeah.
we're going with Jude. Carry on our.
Because we're dunking
Hey,
on
Jude.
Gene so much.
Yeah, it's 50% Gene Duncan as opposed to Jude supporting.
Oh,
Yeah.
good grief. All right. Well, gentlemen, normally I save my PowerPoint games for close to the end, but there's a new segment that Lucas is bringing to us in a little bit after the Smorp that you're going to want to stick around for. So we're going to do one right now. I'll see if I can get the graphic up on the screen nice and easily. It's never easy when it comes to PowerPoint. I'm a pro presenter. So what we got to do here, folks, is we got to share the screen, and then we share the screen, and then we do this. And I'm sorry, I'm just saying. I'm not even saying what I'm doing. I'm just doing what I'm saying.
Doing what you're saying.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna play a game, guys, called Moose, Meese, or Moosen. Now the hard thing is, I went through I went through all of the words we're gonna go through, and I had a hard time pronouncing some of them. So we'll see what happens. But here's the rules. It's pretty simple, and it's a competition, as everything is with us. The rules are, we'll show you a word, and you have to correctly identify the plural form of that word. Let's see here. All right, Andrew,
Were you in French immersion or English core?
I was English core.
I thought so. I was French immersion, so I'm at a bit of a detriment here, but I'll do my best.
You think?
And I speak Spanish more than any of that. Not really. All right, so here's the way it's going to go. I'm going to do my best to look for your hands. The hand that goes up gets to answer first, all right? Here we go, gentlemen. First one, for example, this is the por exemple. Moose. So is it moose, meese, or moosen? Andrew.
Moose. This counts.
Oh, Lucas is actually putting the hand up icon. This counts. All right.
Oh, we should do the hand up icon. Where is that?
So the answer was moose. You now understand the game. No points are given for that.
Counts. That counts. Are we doing so? Are you going to do the hand up icon or hand up?
No, I'd much rather an actual physical hand up. I won't see the icon.
Yeah, it's probably easier.
All right. So, gentlemen, here's your word. And don't put your hand up until I've said it all together.
All right.
I promise I won't.
All right. Round one is beef. Is it beef, beeves, or beefs? Andrew.
Beef.
Andrew's going with beef. Lucas?
I would have also gone with beef, but I guess beefs.
Beeves. Beads?
Beefs?
Oh, man. Beef?
All right. All right. Round two.
This is going to be rough.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to move this for the people at home. Here we go. Lasagna. Is it lasagna? Lasagnas? Lasagnes? And please, Andrew.
Lasagnes.
Lasagna.
I'm going to go with the last one.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm going to go with lasagna, the first one.
The first one. And the answer is lasagna, the first one.
Is that lasagna, though? That's how you spell lasagna.
Isn't it?
But with an E. That's the plural, apparently.
Lasagna.
Thank you, French immersion.
Oh my goodness, it's paying off. All right. Round three. Focus.
You can't put your hand up
Put
yet.
your hand down.
Oh, sorry.
Focus.
I just had to say the word.
Foci. Andrew.
Okay.
Andrew's going foci. So Lucas, what are you choosing?
Foci, I guess. I would have gone with foci too.
And the answer is foci. Andrew ties it up. What a barn burner. All right, round four. Formula. Is it formulon, formulae, or formulas?
Isn't aren't the formula near the nuclear zone?
Oh, you're hilarious.
Formulae.
And you wasted your opportunity to get a point by that one. I hope that Tweety Bird dance was worth it.
The third one.
So, all right, Andrew, what did you take?
Formulae.
He took middle.
Middle, and you went third. And the answer, of course, we all know is formulae.
Yeah, we did know that.
We all knew that one. Andrew, with
Even an old French immersion kid like me knows that one.
Stop.
here.
Make everybody pity you.
I need to move this up a little bit.
I speak 2 languages. Me dum.
Okay, here we go.
Speak them poorly.
This one I'm a little scared of. Sphinx. Be careful. Sphinxes. Sphinxed. I think Lucas might have got up on this one.
I'm gonna go middle. Sphinxes.
Oh man, I was gonna do that. All right, I go the first one.
How would you pronounce that?
Fingers.
Don't go extinct.
Oh, you're hilarious. And it is correct, Andrew. Way to go.
Thanks for
Man,
picking the
you're
answer, Lucas.
Blowing me out of the water.
Oh, my goodness. All right, here we go. Round 6, biceps. Is it, I don't know, biceptipedes? Bicepses or biceps? Andrew.
Biceps.
Number 3?
Yeah.
Because frankly, they all look the same to me.
Lucas, middle. I
middle.
guess I would have gone with the third as well.
And Lucas gets the point.
Oh!
Bicepses.
Oh.
Would y'all pronounce that bicepses?
Yeah, I would have.
All right. Niece and nephew. Is it niecefu, nibblings, or nepheses?
Wait.
I'll let him take the first crack at this one.
Yeah, okay. Do you
I know what I want it to be. I know what I badly want it to be.
Me too.
I'm gonna say nibblings.
Okay.
I desperately want it to be. Can we shut off the game and pretend that's what it is? Nephesius.
I'm pretty sure he was one of the bad guys in Stargate. And the answer is nibblings.
Nibblings.
We live in a very magical world.
That is worth losing this game if I can call my nieces and nephews nibblings from now on. I got to write that down. Nibblings.
All right. Octopus. Is it octopedes?
Wait, I lost my earbud.
Octopi or octopus? Andrew.
Octopi.
All right. Lucas.
Yeah, it's octopi. It's octopi.
Well, you can't choose the same one as him, so what are you choosing?
Oh, I abstain. That's how much I know I lost it.
I hope it's another one.
It is another one. It's octopedes.
That was worth it.
I'm really gonna have to see a dictionary for this one.
Buddy, aren't you a teacher? All right.
I don't
Vice
peanut
principal.
butter octopi.
Here we go. Prius. Is it Priuses? Priapedes. Oh shoot! I looked away. Honor system, guys.
I think it was Lucas.
Which one was it?
I think it was.
I'm gonna go with pre.
Okay, you're going with pre.
I'm guessing.
Priuses.
Priuses. The answer is pre. Congratulations,
Yes.
Lucas.
It's always the dumbest one. So that's the quick rule of thumb. Always the dumbest one.
Always the dumbest one. Here we go. Last round. Hippopotamus. Is it hippopotami, hippopotamides, or hippopotamuses? Andrew.
Hippopotami.
The first one?
Hippopotami. I'm going. Oh wait, that's the one he went.
Yeah, I'm saying the first one.
Okay.
Oh, I'll go with the last one then, I guess.
The answer is hippopotami.
Yeah, hippopotami.
We all know hippopotamus is in the song.
Yes, but it is hippopotami.
Right. Let us. Well,
9K.
and Andrew takes it 6-3.
6-3. Thanks to my abstention. But guys, we've all got nibblings. Like we can all have that forever now. That's amazing.
Let's see here. How do I get my Zoom call back up, fellas? Where'd you go?
It's really important to me that I won that.
I have lost the Zoom. There they are. Welcome back, fellas. All right.
Good to be back.
Well, that was Meese or Moosen. So let's see. Come back next week, and we'll see what other kind of word games I can get you guys doing.
Good.
I'm all done, Lucas.
All right. So coming up. Oh, sorry.
I said I'm all done, Lucas.
You said you're all done?
Oh.
I thought you said I'm not done because I started it. All right, SMORP. So we're talking about SMORP, which stands for Scripture, Message, Obedience, Repentance, and Prayer. We're SMORPing our way through Hebrews 2, 1 to 4. I'm always very excited when it's not a 20 verse passage. And it's
Okay,
short
I
and
get
sweet.
it.
So here we go. Warning against neglecting salvation. Therefore, we must pay much closer attention to what we have heard, lest we drift away from it. For since the message declared by angels proved to be reliable, and every transgression or disobedience received a just retribution, how shall we escape if we neglect such great salvation? It was declared at first by the Lord, and it was attested to us by those who heard. While God also bore witness by signs and wonders and various miracles and by gifts of the Holy Spirit distributed according to his will. All right. So
It's short. Can you give me one more read?
I'll give another pass through. All right. Therefore, we must pay much closer attention to what we have heard, lest we drift away from it. For since the message declared by angels proved to be reliable, and every transgression or disobedience received a just retribution, how shall we escape if we neglect such a great salvation? It was declared at first by the Lord, and it was attested to us by those who heard. While God also bore witness by signs and wonders and various miracles and by gifts of the Holy Spirit distributed according to his will.
Thanks, man.
I was waiting for you to ask me to read it a third time.
No, I was going to try to get 20 verses out of you.
I know. All right. So, scripture, what words, phrases, or observations in this passage stand out to you? What does the scripture tell me about the nature and work of God?
For me, I'll just go
Please.
with lest we drift away from it, which of course is prefaced with pay much closer attention to what we have heard.
For me, I'm on the same page as you, Andrew. We must pay closer attention. That was the phrase to what we've heard, lest we drift away. And I thought it was interesting that the other part for me with that was the message declared by angels proved to be. It's hard for me to just pick two words. Proved to be reliable. Pay closer attention to what we've heard and reliable. Those were a couple of the phrases that stood out to me.
Yeah, for me, I would also have to piggyback on Andrew's and somewhat yours, which is just lest we drift. So, yeah. All right. Message. What do you sense the Lord is saying to you in this reading? Is there a word of correction, guidance, encouragement, wisdom, or promise? Do you have a question for God?
All right. Well, Andrew, do you want to go? You took the lead last time.
Sure. I would just say what immediately comes to mind for me is don't take this for granted. It's so easy to get comfortable and lose focus. And I mean, this is acknowledging, that this is a problem. It wouldn't be in here if it wasn't a problem, right? Lest we drift away from it. And I mean, we're all guilty of it at some point in our life, of not paying closer attention to what we've heard and kind of losing that connection. And I mean, it's just a good reminder. I mean, that's simple at its core in terms of what I'm pulling from it, but it's a good reminder. Like I said, the fact that it's in here, it shows us that it is a common problem. It's not just something that one of us struggles with. It was important enough to put in the Bible. And so I think, that's basically it, just a reminder of how easy it is to kind of get comfortable and lose that focus.
And to your point, I think what's interesting is, I'm hearing the same thing that you're hearing, Andrew. The salvation that we received, it's reliable, and the message of it was, it was given by angels. The Lord himself, came and preached and told this. He told it to people that would listen. Signs and wonders came, like Jesus came and did miracles on earth, like dead people back to life, people that were sick, healed, all this different stuff. And then gifts were given out to people. Like people actually were transformed from who they had been into what God created them to be, and all this. And yet we can still drift. There's all this evidence and all these miraculous works and signs and all that. And I don't know about you guys, but I know for me, there's been stuff that's in my life that I cannot deny, where God has moved in miraculous ways and done things that I cannot deny. And yet there's still, if I'm not careful, I can drift. And I start to doubt and wonder, hey, what was that all about? And, I was reading this and I thought of Peter, who was with Jesus and yet still denied him. It wasn't even that he drifted, like he straight up denied. Even, so, and if he was with Jesus, how much easier is it for us, 2,000 years further down the road? So it's just so much, it's so important that we pay attention to where we're at. And, at the end of our life, we're going to give an account for what we did with the salvation that we were given. And I would much rather my testimony be that I actually did something and saw it grow, as opposed to, well, I just kind of coasted. And anyway,
sputtered across on fumes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't. Thank you. That's really good. I don't want to sputter across the pearly gates on fumes. Ooh, I got to write that down.
It's a sermon right there. High octane faith by Brad.
Nice.
So for me, while Brad's writing down his sermon notes, I was I was similar to you guys, and with the drift and really the vision. It's so often we think of like in a spiritual walk, we think of it like an actual walk where like you're walk. Some days you're walking, some days you're running, some days you're whatever. But the whole image of drifting is more water based, and it's actually true because we think like if you're thinking of walking, when you're not moving forward, you're just sitting there, right? Like to go backwards, you have to intentionally go the other way. But that's not really how life is, right? Life is like drifting. We've all been at the beach or something. Anytime.
Oh, Lucas, you're bringing it. You're bringing it. Oh.
Okay, hold on.
Better write this stuff down.
Beach living.
When you're standing in the water, like you don't go anywhere. But if you're ever on a floaty or anything at a beach, which is not that often, but if you're in a floaty and not paying attention, or in like a little boat or whatever, if you're again at the ocean, like if you're not paying attention, all of a sudden you're like way down from where you started.
Yep.
And it doesn't feel like you are, right? You're just having a great time, and all of a sudden whoop, you're like way down here. And really, there's only two things that'll keep you steady when you're like in that kind of a situation.
Yes.
One is anchoring yourself. Woo! So actually like putting down your feet, finding a firm foundation, that'll keep you from moving, no problem. Or if you basically keep your eyes on something stationary, something that's true, right? So it could be like a certain thing on the beach. Like I know that if I drift past this, that's like, I need to head back, right? And that's kind of it's almost like a boundary marker. Actually, it's funny because when I was thinking of this a second ago, I was like, where have I heard this before? But in this book I just read, the new Andy Stanley one, he talks about how when he was a kid, he talks about drifting a little bit, and he talks about his dad, when they would go to the beach as kids, the first thing they would do before they went in the water was they would make a little pyramid of coconuts or the stones or whatever. And that was like, listen, when you hit this point, you have to come all the way back. That way, not to drift too far away. Mm-hmm. And that's the way it is with our faith, right? Most of the people don't have a crazy, like, I'm leaving the faith moment, right? Most of it's just drift kind of away from it until
I'm tired this morning. I think I'll just stay home.
Right. Yeah, exactly. The drift of 1,000 snores or whatever.
Next Sunday. I'm still tired.
Hold on. The drift.
Also, do you just always have that book beside you at all times in case we need to reference it?
No, my computer is on top of a plastic box, and I keep throwing this in it because I haven't written all the notes down for me yet. Once I write down the notes, it'll be away from my computer, but I've been out of time lately. So I'll have some other sponsored posts for next week, I'm sure.
Oh, good.
How much? What's your cut? Like 25 cents a book? Or?
25 cents. Yeah, quarter, half a bone. All right.
That's
so anybody, any other thoughts on the message that you've received?
No, gentlemen, you guys really brought it.
That was great, Lucas. That was good stuff.
Both of you.
Thank you. That was good. Obedience. So write down a step of obedience you need to take today or this week based on what God is revealing to you. Maybe something you're already working on.
Well, let's stick with the
Obedience.
nautical theme
Yeah,
here, and
very much.
we gotta reorient ourselves to the North Star. And I'm trying to make this funny, but also it's serious.
Yeah.
That you're really walking a tight line right now.
But I think that's important, is to what is that? What is the reorientation for you, your life? Where have you drifted, and what's that point that you're gonna fix yourself on to get back to where you need to be?
Well,
Get a sextant.
no,
Sextant.
but you really are right, and both of you, like, with the nautical theme really does work well here. And Lucas, you already said it, but it's about fixing your eyes ahead. So, sailors, you fix your eyes on that star and you follow it so that your ship doesn't drift and you go off course and all that kind of stuff, right? And so, for me, the point of obedience is, where am I fixing my eyes? And you made another really good point too about there's boundaries, and like they would put those boundary markers out, like, don't step outside that. Well, we have a fantastic boundary marker with the Bible. I'm not trying to make it like it's the big rule book, don't step outside that. However, come on,
the lifeguard's not coming outside of there.
What did you just say?
The lifeguard's not coming outside of there.
Yeah, that's
boundary.
Right. Okay, yeah, right. Bring it back to the nautical. Sorry. Anyway, like, I'm kind of putting those two things together and going, you keep your eyes fixed on Jesus, and you get into the Word and find out, because the whole the map, right? The map for life is right there to chart the course of life. That's where you're going to want to look. Really leaning into the nautical.
There you go.
Also,
Maritime
boats.
Boats.
Yeah, I'd say for me, it's similar to that. I would say, well, actually, pretty much identical to that. Just making sure, kind of keeping on track here and making sure things are going the way they're supposed to go, and and not wait till you're so far gone before you kind of adjust, that sort of idea. So, I think, yeah, just making sure that I'm not coasting, because the problem is it's never like a decision to do it. It's more of just a matter of the fact that life gets busy, and then you don't do one thing or don't do another, and you're just not making the main thing the main thing. And that's when things get into trouble, right? I know, even at work, like, whenever I make a dumb mistake at work, I'm always like, I knew deep down I should have been paying closer attention to that email I was writing or to that thing I was doing, and I made some little mistake, and it kind of got, and someone's like, oh yeah, you made a mistake in this thing, or you did this thing, and I was like, and I knew I should have been paying more attention. I was rushing, and it always leads to problems.
I got to toss this in because it just hit me. I'm not trying to interrupt, but I did it anyway. And I apologize. Paying closer attention is an ongoing thing. It's not, it's not just that, I paid close attention today and that was good. It is moment by moment. It's an active phrase. And every one of us, no matter where we are in our faith today, whether we're, way further along or just beginning, all of us are being called to pay closer attention, and we can all do that. Anyway, there's my obedience.
Very good. And last up, we have repentance. Write down any confession that God reveals to you in this passage. If applicable, write down the steps you are taking to turn away from the sin for the purpose of walking in holiness. And prayer, which is spending time thanking the Lord for all of his blessings. Pray for anything and anyone he lays on your heart. Write down your prayers. And those are 2 steps we normally do kind of privately, but if you guys want to throw anything out, feel free. Any thoughts?
I will just say that I'm thankful that when I was drifting, the lifeguard left the 99 on the beach and came for me.
Nice.
Nailed it. 2-point conversion, or whatever Holt says when he was trying to do sports analogies.
All right, Lucas, bear with me. Am I okay to just intro and toss to you, and then you can do the rest?
I'll take it.
All right.
Yep.
Well, then we are going to toss to Lucas and his new segment entitled The Best and the Rest.
All right. I assume this song is over. I heard one little stinger and then nothing. So I said, okay, we're good. All right, I'm live. All right. So I was coming up with I had an idea for a segment, and we'll see how it goes this week. But I think it's one that it could have some legs if it goes well. So guys, make sure it goes well. And the best and the rest is basically I'm going to give you a category, and you have to give me the best version of that category you've ever experienced and the worst version of that. So if I said like meal, it would be, oh, the best meal I ever had was da 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 da, and then oh, the worst one I ever had was da 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 da. And usually there's going to be probably funny or wisdom or maybe both on either end of that. So today's category, and I let the guys know ahead of time because it can be a hard one to think up right off the dome. But the category for best and the rest for today is advice. So we're going to start with what's the best advice you've ever been given. And I said it did not have to be like person to person, like you got sat down going out for coffee and someone told you to your face. It could be something you've read, something you've heard, that sort of just general advice. What's the best? What's the worst? So let's start with the best. Brad, what's some of the best advice you've ever been given?
The best advice I actually write down in the front part of my Bible, things like, high octane faith and then I like all these types of things. Like I write that stuff down to remember. And I first started doing that when this was said to me, and it changed my trajectory in ministry because I was failing horribly. Pastor John Tremblett sat down on my couch in my living room when we lived in Bloomfield, and we were having a heart-to-heart conversation. I was 1 year into ministry with him, and if I'm just being 100% transparent, I was taking advantage of the freedom that I had as a pastor with my time. You tracking with what I'm saying here? A little lazy. Let's just the death of a thousand snores type of thing. A lot of callbacks to earlier episode. People go back and listen if you're not tracking with me. And so we were sitting there talking, and I've got to give it to him because the guy actually cared about me. But he said this. He said, Brad, it has to be a passion in you. And then he said, if it's not, no hard feelings. We'll go our separate ways. But if it is, then, we'll continue and all that. But I felt called when I was a teenager and went through this journey of faith, and you guys have been a part of that with me. But it wasn't until that specific moment that I actually wrestled with, is this really in me? Is this call really in me? Is this passion for people and, proclaiming Christ really, really, is that really a passion? And so the best, it's not really advice, and yet it kind of is. It's more of an invitation. But when you tossed this out, that was the first thing that went through my brain was it has to be a passion in you. And there have been pivotal moments for me along the way that have changed me, but that was the beginning one for me. And I've never been able to shake that.
Awesome.
Nor would I want to.
I've tried. This won't shake. All right. And I was trying to decide if I want to do all the good ones and then all the bad ones, or good, bad, good, bad. And I think maybe I'll break it up and do good, bad, good, bad.
Okay.
So what's the worst advice you've ever received?
Fantastic. All right. Thank you, Lucas. It's nice to be here. And the worst advice I've ever been given, I had to write this down. Don't wash your jeans. That advice comes from Ralph Lauren.
It came back to bite you, did it?
Well, it's just stupid. I'm sorry. Why wouldn't you wash your jeans? You wear your jeans, but apparently
Don't want them to fade.
Well, that's just it. Apparently, high-end jeans, you're not supposed to wash. And I'm thinking, I've got kids. I play around.
You're probably not supposed to wear the high-end jeans when you're playing with your kids.
That's true. You have a pair of Levi's for that.
What?
Around the house jeans.
Wait,
not your going out jeans.
Levi's aren't the high end? Oh, brother.
Sorry. Save your Levi's for going out. Save your Wranglers for in the house.
And so, I used to, I try to get 2 days out of jeans, thinking that I was doing a big favor to Ralph Lauren and the big jeans. But it's just ridiculous because you're wearing dirty clothes the next day. So And it seems to me that that's bad business for them, because you would
Yeah.
think you would want to promote like a planned obsolescence.
Wash them
your
every
jeans
single time.
like if you
He's
look.
passionate about jeans, okay?
But
That's right. He's not in it for the income. He's in it for the outcome.
and it just as someone who likes being clean and presentable, the idea of going in dirty jeans, but like not even just a couple of days, but like the life cycle of these jeans. If someone were to look at me, those jeans have never been washed. From the moment I bought them at Walmart to now, those jeans have never been washed, and they've been through a lot. That just seems gross and like the worst possible advice.
Are you like one of those people who like skis in their jeans and like plays soccer in your jeans?
I do
like...
everything in my jeans. Like, I remember as a kid when my mom transitioned me from sweatpants to jeans and how much I didn't want to. But once I got into jeans, I never went back to the sweats. It wasn't until my 36th year on this earth last week that I put on a pair of sweatpants for the first time. Can't stop wearing them now. Didn't realize they were so comfortable. But like, I knew I was going to be on camera tonight, so I still wore jeans even though no one can see them.
But confidence thing.
We
can tell.
They were washed last night. I wash my jeans every day. But that's the worst advice, Ralph Lauren. Shame on you. Influencing a young mind.
So Brad living a pretty blessed life. The worst advice he's ever gotten was jeans related. Okay, Andrew, how about you? What's the best advice you've ever been given?
All right. So I told the guys earlier I was really struggling with this. I have terrible like memory recall, especially like just events like that. So I did spend some time thinking about this, and I kind of narrowed it down to a Bible verse actually, and it is Ephesians 4:26, and you probably will know this one, but it's the verse that says, "Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry." And you could also kind of take the Bible verse out of it and just say, like, don't go to bed or angry in relation to your spouse.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I just find that to be great advice.
Absolutely.
I mean, in some ways, if you're allowing, some kind of issue or anger to go with you into the night, you're almost, I don't want this to sound too harsh, but you're almost being a coward and not dealing with whatever that issue is. You're also letting it fester. You're also opening it up to more issues coming from it because you're not addressing it. If you have the opportunity to address it, you should be addressing it. And I think it's just, I mean, I don't think this has been a big issue for me over the many years, but it's something good, I think, to remember. And, when Tiffany and I have disagreements or anything like that, we always do our best to address those before we hit the hay. Yeah. And I think that it's good that you're not waking up the next day and like,
oh, right, we're angry.
We're still fighting, or, and
you remember till half with your breakfast, so it's a nice breakfast until you remember you're mad. Like, oh yeah, I gotta be mad.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that's just good advice.
Yeah, that is good advice. And how about the worst advice you've ever been given? Go to bed angry.
So, yeah.
Go to bed angry. Hold on to your grudges.
Bank it.
This is kind of like, again, this isn't from like a specific person. This is more just like cultural advice. But this is kind of, I mean, I almost feel like I'm going to steal this from Lucas, but maybe not. But just like,
is this from a leadership book?
No, this is financial advice. And basically, debt's okay. Everybody's got it. It's okay if you have it too.
Oh, wait, what's the matter with that?
I'll send you his book. You'll be fine.
I've already got two.
I just don't think it's. I mean, I don't want to like.
Just say it, man. This is your listen. This is your experience.
Well, I mean, I personally and Tiffany, we've worked really hard to get to where we are, and I mean, we still have debt and things like that. But young me really, really, made some mistakes that we had to deal with for many years. And so that attitude of like, oh, everybody's got it, it's fine, it's not fine. It causes a lot of issues, over many years. And that's money that could be going elsewhere, and things like that. So I don't want to get too far into it, but uh we've worked really hard over the years to pay off bills and get to where we are, and I'm really proud of that. So it's more like fighting against culture.
Yeah.
Fight the man.
Well, I really feel like I
Power.
phoned it in with the whole jeans thing. Wow.
Well, I'll hop in then, and I'll start with my negative because it is basically the same thing.
Jeans, eh?
And it is
Good
no.
grief.
Don't get me started on jeans. No, it just the whole. And again, it's not a specific person. Like I said, it's very much a cultural thing. But you bump into people all the time who say it, basically like, "Well, you could die tomorrow, so you might as well go out and buy that boat
Can't
today."
take it with
or,
you.
Can't take it with you. Just no U-Hauls behind a hearse, so I can stack up bad decision after bad decision. And although I do love the quote, money can't buy you happiness, but I've never seen someone sad on a jet ski. I do like that quote a lot. but I've bumped into so many people, and
Wait, hold on.
down the line they
Money.
never.
He's
been
writing
like,
in the
so
Bible.
glad I did. That's right. That's right. You're gonna have to add some extra note pages. So that to me, that's just, and you covered all the reasons, right? It's super cultural, and in our culture, we're especially this time, we're super like we love debt. But that's not me. It never really was me that much, but it's super not me now. Now I'm like super like no fun to be around about it. And then for best advice, and I was trying to think of like a time like an actual human being sat me down and gave me a pearl of wisdom. And I've had some of those, I'm sure, but I was trying to think of like advice that like constantly kind of rings around in my head. And it's one that I think I heard on a podcast actually. And basically it just kind of it's summed up by when you're trying to make a decision, what will you wish you had done tomorrow? Right. And that's what I'm always like when you're looking back,
yeah.
like what will future you wish you had done? So whether that's tomorrow or next week or next year, and you make your decision based on that, not based on what you want right now. So it's like, well, I could
Delayed
stay up
gratification.
late playing video games, or I could spend time with my wife. It's like, okay, well, what do I want to do? I don't want to play video games with my friends or whatever. It's like, well, what will you wish you had done? Like, I'll probably wish I had spent more time with Melissa. Now I still do play lots of video games, but but the idea still rings true. And I apply that probably at least once a day to like my life, and to say like, what will tomorrow Lucas wish I had done today? And that helps a lot because it divorces you from the actual having to do it part of it when you're trying to make the decision.
That's like,
And
sorry, I just want to. Tiffany and I always have a thing where we don't do something, or there's a problem, and we say that's future Tiffany and Andrew's problem.
yeah, that's it. It's like kind of the opposite of that. But yeah,
Yep.
I've definitely done that too. And then I'm going to kind of cheat and have another one that's been more popular this year. I really liked the quote, and I actually printed it off in color on cardstock, put it in a frame, and put it on my wall because it's advice I need to hear. And I'm pretty sure it's by Craig Rochelle, and it's all your big problems are small problems that got ignored. So, and that's especially at work. Like it's so easy to be like, I don't really want to deal with that right now, or I don't really feel like having that conversation, or whatever. And I'm like, you can let it fester. It's not going to, 90% of the time, it's not going to go away, and it's not going to get easier. It's only going to get harder. So that's my little self admonition or whatever. So I think I'm going to try to keep that one space, and it's right across from my desk. Like most people wouldn't see it in my office unless they came in and like did a 180 and looked around. But I think I'm going to try to put good advice in there. Like maybe I'll switch it up every year or something. Find some pearls of wisdom. But there you go. That wraps up the best and the rest.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much. This has been a fun episode. A lot of laughs, a lot of confusion on gene
Boats.
culture, boats. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for taking the last almost an hour and spending it with us. We really appreciate it. And guys, thank you so much. Folks, if you want to find out more about our podcast, you can do so by checking out our website, www.oxfordholyclub.com. And from there, you can browse whatever and find us on all the social medias that matter. We are definitely there, though we don't post. But know that we're there. So listen, keep spiritually fit and have fun.